The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach with a W. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health issues and create a custom, natural, holistic strategy to address them for mind, body, and soul. And as a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I treat, heal, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I certainly can make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life. And I just want to let you know that my books are in. You can purchase my copy of Rising Women. It's a compilation of 25 women, and you can get it for $20 or a signed copy for $25. You can email me at https:// Debi Changes Changes Lives Lives and Victor es.com Linktree, and that's my Linktree where you can find a lot of stuff. Don't forget about my Beach Reveal retreat. And I incorporated a 6-month weight release program where it's dovetailed with you writing your transformational story, where you get to write a chapter in a book. And it's going to be a retreat in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And you see the dates for the retreat, which is November 6th to the 13th. And if you want more details on this program, you can watch my episode, The Beach Reveal Retreat, which is at https bit.ly/beach reveal show for more details. Email me your interest in that link tree that I mentioned earlier. The weight release program does start on March 1st of 2024, and you need to be signed up before then. I am so proud to have Dr. Laura Dennison, a naturopath, on my show. She's my go-to person when somebody wants to do a 3-way call to get more information about their health issues. She's not only a naturopath, but she's also an entrepreneur, a speaker, a master herbalist, a master formulator. I got that spit out of my mouth. And plus, she uses her certifications and her degrees to help empower women and their families with her knowledge on holistic health for mind, body, and spirit, just like me. She has more education than I do. That's why I go to her for 3-way calls. And she has extensive knowledge in the herbal industry and formulated the majority of her product line. Today, we'll be talking about the benefits of autophagy. So Dr. Laura, welcome to my show.
Hi.
Hi. So we're going to be talking about autophagy. What exactly is autophagy?
Okay, so autophagy is your body's cleansing, renewing. It helps to reset the body, and it's pretty incredible because I really got interested in this, Debi, a long time ago. Not too long ago, but keto was just a big big thing in the industry. Okay, and so a lot of people were having success. You personally, your coaching program is absolutely incredible, and I know you use a lot of these principles, and so I always like to know why things work. Okay, and so when I started looking into the keto program, and now intermittent fasting is just going like crazy. People are really understanding that. I wanted to know what it was going to benefit the body. Okay. And so the autophagy is what it does. Okay. It renews, repairs, and resets the body. And I love that part because you guys, when we have cells in our body that just stay dormant or you have too much of, the protein cells or, your mitochondria is getting damaged because of the different lysosomes that it's not actually, getting rid of, or the organelles, then you start having damage. And then all of a sudden, after that cell is in the body for a while, then it start to cause chronic disease. Okay. So always repairing, renewing the cells is incredible. So here's where autophagy came from. Okay. Auto means self in phage. Okay. And then we put the E on the end, but phage means eating. So it's a self-eating process that autophagy is. And so it's pretty incredible what it does. And I am a big fan of understanding what it does.
Oh, that's great. So how does it reduce inflammation in the body?
Okay. Oh, absolutely. Okay. So back to how it reduces inflammation. Okay. So when you go through the period of autophagy, which it takes about 72 hours to actually achieve that, but we all have these inflammatory markers in the body. Okay. So then it causes inflammation, and it's usually from our diet. It's usually what we're putting into our body that will cause the inflammation. But the period of autophagy actually helps to reduce inflammation because it's getting rid of the senescent cells, those cells that are just hanging out that are saying, help, get me out of here. I'm going to turn into inflammation for you if you don't get me cleaned out. And so there's a lot of things that you could do. Intermittent fasting, the keto diet is one of those, but also exercise. Exercise is a form of helping to renew the cells, okay? Because it stimulates your body's way of renewing and resetting. And so with inflammation, it's an incredible process that it actually helps with it. I really talk, and I know, Debbie, you follow a lot of things that I do, but, inflammation is the start of most every chronic disease. Okay. And so when we talk about inflammation, you got to, a lot of people think, the pain or, because that's usually whenever people recognize that they have inflammation, is just because their joints hurt and they have inflammation. But there's other, ways that you also have inflammation that sometimes you don't realize. I notice people's, cheeks, if they're really red, that's also an inflammation. Especially in the bloodstream. And so, heart disease is from chronic inflammation. And so it's something that you really got to pay attention to. So with autophagy, you can do certain things for the body to help to reset and renew and also repair the cells. Okay. So then that also helps with inflammation, which is incredible.
Yeah. Are there any other signs on the skin for inflammation? Maybe like a rash or something like that?
Absolutely. Great question. A lot of times you'll have people that their wounds won't heal. That's another way that the immune system and your body is full of inflammation, is just because you can't even get a wound to heal. Different, skin irritations can be inflammation. Itching can be a sign of inflammation, scratching and, having certain reactions to things that maybe you put on your skin can actually cause inflammation, swelling. And our immune system works, it's pretty intricate. Okay. And so when you have an injury, okay, it causes inflammation because your body naturally is going to cause the white cells, which are our soldiers in the body, to actually go to the site of the injury and create an inflammatory response. Okay. So that's how the body's naturally supposed to react. But when the wound don't heal or the injury doesn't heal and it still stays like a swelling or, just like if you turned your ankle and it's not starting to reduce in size, then you have a problem with how your body's reacting to inflammation. But like I said, inflammation is the start of most chronic, conditions. And a lot of it goes into autoimmune, which is, it starts usually with inflammation. And so, when you do this, you do autophagy, which I know, Debbie, you coach a lot of people. And it's amazing what you do. All the success stories is just incredible, because you help them understand, what they're putting in. Okay. And when they're putting it in, that is, how you induce your body into a period of autophagy is sort of like getting into ketosis. But you have to really understand is when you're not putting stuff in, then your body goes into that repair mode. Okay. Your gut starts to heal. Your blood sugar starts to drop it, where it's not becoming your the liver's, not talking to the pancreas, and you're not sending out too much insulin, which is incredible. And so there's so many benefits that you can do. And autophagy is the results that you get whenever you do these certain things. And I know that you coach a lot of people into a healthy lifestyle, which is incredible.
Yeah. Intermittent fasting and the values of the foods of what they're eating, and they're not supposed to eat after a certain time period, so that body can heal overnight, and we'll talk about fasting in a second, but I want you to talk about how the body is activated by autophagy for body self-cleansing process of the cells.
Okay.
That's really interesting.
Yes. And so when you think about this, okay, you have to think about your cells, and you have to think about your nutrients. Whenever they start to repair itself is when the cells are repairing itself is whenever it's nutrient deprived. Okay. So that means it's not getting any food. It's not getting any nutrients. So then the cell has to decide to repair itself. And so the way you activate it is to not put anything in. Okay. So then you get that period of intermittent fasting is a part of that. But that starvation of the cell is more or less what it is you're starving the cell to make the cell either decide that it's a good cell and we're going to repair itself, reset, create the energy that our cell is supposed to give us. Our cells in our body is supposed to give us energy. And so whenever your cells are in that period of autophagy, it's repairing the mitochondria and all the different organelles and everything that's in there to actually do what it's supposed to do and work more efficiently. And when we think about that, I think about recycling factory. Okay. And our mitochondria is set up sort of like that. Okay. So you're recycling paper over here, you're recycling a box over here, but then you get something that's not recyclable. Okay. And so then it just sits there in the mitochondria in our cells, and it doesn't know what to do. And so and a lot of times it can be a damaged protein that can actually sit there. And eventually it's going to destroy the other things through the recycling. Okay. And then it's going to cause the cell to either be damaged or accumulate and start to grow. Damaged cells, when they accumulate, causes serious illness. And, we're not going to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent anything. But when your body is in a period of distress, then it causes, the different conditions that can cause serious illness. Okay. And so our cells start to multiply, those damaged cells. And so, that's where autophagy just comes in handy. I mean, it's just, because I love the whole idea about repairing, resetting, getting that energy to the cell. So then you can go make hormones. You can go make sure that you're getting good gut bacteria. The good blood flow. And that's what happens whenever you have cells that are happy. And that's what you got to think about it.
Exactly. Now we actually have a couple of questions from our audience. One is, how's our body do this? And I think you kind of explained that. And is there any more detail that you want to explain? The other question is how you know if your body is doing the process properly.
Okay. So like I said, it does take about 72 hours to effectively get into a period of autophagy. Okay. And so how when people start keto or they start a different, maybe not even keto, just even low carb, your body goes through a period of, you feel hungry, you feel bad. Sometimes you can go through like what's called the keto flu. And your body is actually going through and trying to, because you're changing up what you're doing. And when you're feeding yourself, okay, you're starving those cells. And so you're going to feel worse before you start feeling better. In about 72 hours, then you all of a sudden this energy kicks in, and you can actually tell that you feel better because what you've been putting in the tank, okay, has been not helping the cells to reset, repair, and renew. And so then you're constantly in this battle. So when we talk about intermittent fasting, a lot of people get a little bit sidetracked because they think that they're eating healthy, which they are. But if you're constantly snacking, okay, you're constantly feeding the body, and you never can be in that period of rest. The longer you can go without eating, okay, then your body is going through that self-eating, which is the autophagy of renewing and resetting, and is really a metabolic reset is what it is. So your energy is going to increase. That's when you know, because you're going to feel it. You're going to feel like, oh, wow, now I know what she's talking about, because, I woke up and I just feel wonderful. And because it helps with everything. It helps with digestion. It helps with, blood sugar, because your body's no longer, sending all the glucose. Your body is just working on the glucagon, which is your energy of the cell. Okay. And you just have that renewed energy. You're sleeping better. And sleep is a big part of autophagy. So if you're not getting adequate rest, then you're not able to let your body go into that reset, renew mode, okay, and repairing of the cells.
Okay. Now, of cells, I know there's some cells that just naturally die. We lose a certain number of cells every day. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
Oh, you guys, we have trillions of cells. Okay. And so, just to lose one, and you want to get rid of the damaged ones. Okay. And
Exactly.
Sometimes the damaged ones, the longer they stay in the body, okay, is whenever they start to find the other damaged cells, and they sort of, form a gang of, and they start accumulating, and then you have a big problem. And so you're always renewing, and anything that can be repaired will be repaired, but it's not going to repair it unless it has the adequate nutrients to be able to do that. And so we're always, recycling, we're always renewing, and that's our body. God designed us in a way to actually have this survival mechanism of autophagy, of being able to repair the cells, renew the cells, and reset the metabolic process. And when you set that metabolic process, then when you are eating, you're getting those nutrients. The proteins are being broken down correctly. You're not getting additional proteins that their functions are just, get settled in the cell and they don't have any energy to it. You're actually eating in a way that it's actually feeding the body like it should. And there's, you're just a well-oiled machine is what you are whenever you have your cells working properly for you in autophagy.
That's great. I know with the keto 90 program that I do, it's important to have a certain number of hours in between meals for that to happen.
Absolutely.
And then you need at least 12 or more hours in between your what you last ate to the beginning of the morning, especially if you want to reduce your weight. So and for me, at being a runner, all that running I do, it actually burns up calories as well. So it actually helps with the autophagy as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, anytime you're causing that starvation aspect of the cell, then you're actually in a period of where it has to find the nutrients and it has to repair itself. So you're forcing it to go and do something instead of just sitting there, just hanging out. You're forcing the cell to do what it's designed to do, is to actually create energy in the body.
Yeah, and changing things up is a great way if you hit a plateau as well. And it sounds like autophagy just plays into that when something gets changed.
Oh, absolutely. And, and there's, we talked about keto, and there is, several, intermittent fasting is something that you can do. Water fasting. Okay. Even, and I don't ever say anybody get on a high detox program if you suffer from a lot of different ailments. Okay. You have to, get with your physician or work with someone through that to see if your body can go through a detox. But, water fasting, low carb cycling, is also an area, because then when you're focusing on more protein and you're only doing that during your eating window, okay, is a part of that. There's another one called time restricted eating, okay, TRE, is also it's a type of intermittent fasting, but it's not as much as counting the calories or counting the carbs. It's actually, making sure that they only eat between this window. And you guys, and anything can break your fast that's caloric. Okay. And so if you put sugar in your coffee, okay, shame on you. You just broke your fast. Okay. Now, can you drink coffee? Absolutely, because there's no caloric value to it. And it's not going to stimulate the metabolic process. Okay. Anytime you stimulate digestion, then you're out of your fast. And, we talk about resetting, repairing, and renewing the cell. And most of it's done at night. Okay. So if you're not getting adequate rest, that's the first thing that you need to do before you even start on any program, is you really got to figure out your circadian rhythm and be able to, your sleep wake cycle, because when we sleep is when our body is at the best time of rest. Okay. We're not doing any activities. We're not feeding the body. And so it gets to do that rest and repair. Well, intermittent fasting, like when you're setting, or that time restricted eating, and you're setting a time, like you're not going to eat anything after 6 o'clock. Okay. It takes 4 to 6 hours for the digestive process to start to relax. Okay. To quit trying to, have that metabolic function. And so that's the reason why intermittent fasting or, time restricted eating works so well going into the sleep patterns, because then you got, 12 to 18 hours that you're not feeding the body. Okay. And so your body's going to be more efficient, and you're just going to feel better.
I've certainly experienced that too. But you never want to stick to something like, for long periods of time. You want to get back to some kind of eating plan that you can live with and work with. So, and that's what I help people, is go into maintenance and be able to keep their weight off, because I've actually kept my weight off for 10 years now. This is my anniversary month of keeping my weight off. So, and being, smaller size. So I just am so thrilled that it works for me for that long. So I really know how to help people with that. Now, you've talked about 2 types of autophagy. What are they?
Okay. So you have the micro and the macro autophagy. Okay. And they both do something different whenever it comes to helping to restore the cells. Okay. It's like that recycling factor that I was talking about. Okay. One is trying to do it in a more of a molecular way, and the other one is trying to do it more in a cellular way. And both of them are dealing with the mitochondria, okay, and the different organelles and the different damage to the cell. And so one is just more a heavier, like more muscle, okay, to be able to actually, and that's the macro, and that's the main one that you'll hear people talk about. But then the micro, and you think about tiny, okay, micro is tiny. And so there's even like in the nanonute particles, it's even going in and trying to get even the smaller debris. And that's what you got to think about it in the mitochondria is you're getting rid of this debris and being able to renew the cell and repair it. And so there's 2 types that goes in that tries to repair, and that's micro and the macro. And the macro is the one that is the heavy duty guy. He's the one that's, he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders to try to help to repaper. And
so he's like
and after
or something.
What?
He's like Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean, yes, he's the macro. He's going in there and he's cleaning it all up and it's housekeeping too. I mean, you think about that, and that's any type of cleaning process. Okay, that's what you got to think about, what your body's doing, and the most important thing is to get rid of, like I said, that debris, that disease cell. And we talked about inflammation and we talked about weight loss, but there's so many more benefits. I mean, as far as, helping with, your blood sugar, because your body's going to work more efficiently with the cell. Even the senescent cells that get stored, in the brain. Okay. It's going to also help to repair cells and reset and renew. And so a lot of people, because I know you were talking about weight loss, which is wonderful. That to me, the weight loss is a bonus. Okay. Feeling good and knowing that you're really doing things holistically and healthy, and that you're helping your body not go into that chronic disease phase. Okay. Because for some reason, as we age, we seem to think that, we have the health phase, and then we seem to think after a certain age that, towards Medicare, that we need to go into what's called this disease phase. You don't have to do that. If you're doing everything and feeding the body right now, are we going to be perfect? No. But whenever, just like you said, whenever you can change it up and find a maintenance, but it's more than diet. Okay. It's more than exercise. It's even what we're feeding our minds, even spiritually, goes into, because you think about the stress and the stress load. Okay. And you think about what it does for the cells. Okay. That causes a lot of damage as well. And so, so that autophagy is even, increasing how we handle stress and be able to not let a stressed cell or, the damaged cells create something that is going to be chronic and something that we're not going to be too happy with.
So autophagy works with cortisol or any other hormones?
Okay. So when you have cells that are working efficiently, you can make necessary hormones. Okay. And so like, let's talk about cortisol. Okay. Cortisol is your fight or flight hormone. And when it's working efficiently, then it's doing its job. Like, it's our protective mechanism. It's our protective hormone. Okay. And so, when you're driving a car and somebody switches over to your lane, okay, that cortisol is to help us to make, to be able that fight or flight. Okay. That's what cortisol is designed to do. When you're making too much, then you are full of stress. Okay. So it causes that. So when you go into melatonin and cortisol bounce off of each other. Okay. You got to have that balance. So when we're repairing ourselves at night, okay, and making sure we're getting good rest and good solid rest, I'm getting into that REM sleep, then our body's is making the corrected cortisol. Okay. And so, yes, can autophagy help with that? Yes, when you're using and implementing other areas to create the stress level to be lower. And so, yes, because if not, if you have a lot of stress, then your body can never go into autophagy. You're always going to be trying, your body's always going to be, running that marathon, trying to get there, but it's never going to be able to get there to actually do the job that it's supposed to do.
That's why it makes it so difficult to release weight when someone's really stressed and their hormones are out of balance, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And so if they start eating a cleaner diet, they start working on deep diaphragmatic breathing to release their stress, and also meditate, or even exercise can help release stress. All these things can help you release stress and make you feel better. For me, it's running. I do that first thing in the morning. And, walking's very good too. I mean, that's what I originally did when I released my, initial 50 pounds. But then I was able to run for the first time in my life. So, because my foot problem subsided. And that really, it was really exciting times. But is there any other, I know that even if you, work out outside, that also boosts your mood and makes you happier because you get vitamin D coming into you naturally. And the circulation of your blood and everything probably helps the autophagy as well, doesn't it? Because of the circulation of the exercise of blood and everything else.
Absolutely. And autophagy and your circadian rhythm and the things you do consistent all play into, having that elevated mood, okay, that you're talking about. I personally, I love walking. I mean, but Debbie, I love that you run, and and what I loved about your your running is you set a goal, and you were able to set that goal, achieve that goal, running the marathons, and so that's what's half marathons. Okay. Well, okay. So set that goal for the whole, I guess. I don't know. Debbie's always an overachiever, and that's what I love about her, is because she works really hard, but she has a passion to really help people, and that's another reason why I love her so much. But for me, I like, I'm a naturopath. I'm a master herbalist, and so I enjoy nature. Okay, it makes me happy. And we have figured out that the more you can get out into the sunshine, okay, get that natural vitamin D, because our kids are not as out in the sunshine. They're the gaming aspect, which I'm not against games, or anything like that, but it does disrupt a few things. Getting out there and doing grounding, trying to get away from all of the electromagnetic things that's bouncing off of us, because it does lower your cell frequency. Okay. And so that also can hamper your ability to get into autophagy. And so, it's just pretty incredible whenever you think about our cells, which are a lifeline. And I love that you have to provide a good environment for your cells to live. Okay. And so that's the reason why you and I, Debbie, are very strong in supplementation and nutrients, because we know that we can't get it energetically as much from our foods because of how our foods are grown. Okay. And so for our cells, okay, besides doing all the right things with autophagy and stuff like that, you also have to nutrify your cells. Okay. You have to provide a good environment. Well, one is oxygen. Okay. So getting outside, getting that good oxygen. If you live in a big city, it's always good to even go to an area that has a lot of trees, go for a walk or do your exercise there, because that's providing the cells a great place to live. And then another thing is providing it with the nutrients, okay, and what you're feeding it. And, I wish that an apple was an apple, but it's not. And it doesn't matter if it's organic. We're not getting those nutrients that our cells were designed to get. And so, supplementation is pretty big on what I also offer as well.
Yeah, and I offer that too. And it's really important, I know it's a big difference because I've been on 2 different keto plans, and the supplementation I took the first time wasn't doing anything for me. It was from Vitamin Shop and GNC, and I changed my plan up to be a holistic, whole body, whole food product, and it made a big difference. I noticed a really great sense of energy, and my foot pain subsided from it. And we have another question about what natural stuff would you suggest for inflammation? Antioxidants are really great, right?
Oh, absolutely. Antioxidants. Also, diet wise, getting off of gluten. Gluten is very inflammatory, and so gluten and oils are 2 inflammatory foods. So watch what you're putting in, which I know Debbie will coach you through that. But the nutrients are just as important, because inflammation, when you start, like you said, Debbie, that puzzle piece, you were on 2 different plans and you understood the second plan because how you felt. Okay. And so fixing that puzzle piece. But another thing is anti-inflammatories. We have, I personally have, produced a product called, can I tell the product name or no?
Well, I guess you
so anyway,
we already said our disclaimers, but you can say it again if you want.
Okay, so there is anti-inflammatories in a lot of different herbals. Okay, and I tend to go to a great product. I go for the nutrients to help with the deficiencies, but then I also helped the building blocks to help with inflammation. Okay, because I want to get you feeling better. And the most important thing is a lot of times inflammation involves pain. And if I can get you feeling better, then I can get you out walking. I can get you out running. I can get you out, doing what you want to do. And so there is some anti-inflammatory products that you can actually pull from as well to help the building blocks to help, to be able to help with that.
That we both have access to. And, you can mention one if you want,
Okay, stay restored. Stay restored.
I love that product. When I broke my foot, it really helped. So it got me through that, and I never had any pain medication. So that was my experience, you guys. That's my testimonial. Everyone is different. Everyone has different levels of inflammation. So you got to understand that everybody has their own unique fingerprint of health, and you're going to experience things differently depending on how much inflammation you have in your system anyways.
Absolutely.
If you think about it, your body's like an onion, right? And if you have a lot of inflammation, it's going deep in that onion. So you got to pull off those layers of the onion before you can, isolate whatever that problem is. So sometimes it's going to take longer for some people than it will take for others. Just remember
Absolutely.
You got to be patient.
And another thing, Debbie, that people don't realize is also, being able to drink half your body weight in ounces of water. I mean, do good filtered water also helps to reduce. And it just, think about your cells. They need the water, they need hydration. And so that's another key aspect of our cells, what we got to do for it as well.
Yeah. And also, if somebody has a leaky gut, it's a autophagy. I think if you stop eating, it kind of helps, repair things in time. Is that true?
Absolutely. Gut health. Oh my goodness. Gut health is superior whenever it comes to autophagy. Okay. Because the less you're putting in, okay. I'm not telling anybody to go without eating. Okay. You can't do that. But it's when you eat, and the timing of it is crucial. Okay. So that time restricted eating, when you stop eating within 4 to 6 hours, your body, and in fact, I wrote down some notes just real quick on what it does. Okay. 4 to 8 hours, okay, of not eating, your blood sugar begins to fall. Okay. And so it's helping to improve blood sugar. All food has left the stomach. Insulin is no longer being produced. Okay. Then at 12 hours, food has been consumed. The digestive tract goes to sleep. When the digestive tract goes to sleep, that's where that repair and the reset of the digestive tract. And, I know there's a lot of science going into, the gut brain health, okay, how our gut is our immune system. And so if you're suffering from any digestive issues, okay, you really need to really take a look and get with Debbie, because there's a lot of things to help to repair that, even probiotics and digestive enzymes, and because it does control a lot of different things. I mean, it is our master is our gut, okay, and on doing a lot of different things. But the digestive tract goes to sleep at 12 hours. HGH begins to increase. That's your human growth hormone, okay, which that in itself is such a reparative thing that happens, that human growth hormone, and how it repairs the cells. It also helps the DNA. It helps, your stem cells. It helps with a lot of different things. The glucagon is being released to help to balance sugar. Okay, so now your body's naturally doing it without food. 24 hours, autophagy begins. At 48 hours, autophagy is at 300%. Inflammation response is in high drive. What that means is that you have reduced your inflammation, okay, and your response to inflammation is beautiful. And then you also have your high with your immune system at that point. And then at 72 hours, it maxes out, okay? Autophagy maxes out. You're already in that repair, reset, renew. And this can happen in a 72-hour period. Okay. I'm not saying to go without eating within 72 hours, but that time restricted eating, okay, or the intermittent fasting, or going keto, getting into ketosis, all of that puts you into a cycle of autophagy, okay, where you're resetting, renewing, and repairing, and which is crucial to health. I really believe it's very important to understand, what it is, and what it does, because when I started seeing all of these different eating programs, I always want to know why. I want to know what it does. Okay.
Mhm.
And so autophagy is what it does. Autophagy is where your body gets to renew and repair, and you get to feel good. It's amazing.
And it cleans your cells. So that's wonderful. So, I'm sure my audience has heard a lot. And of course, I do the intermittent fasting, and sometimes it's a fast of a day or whatever. It all depends on how you do it. But I know you have an offer for my audience. What is it? Because I am going to be using you for three-way calls. So it would be lovely if you can give us some kind of offer.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So you're so fantastic, Debbie. And I want to help anybody and everybody. And that goes through you. And so I'm offering 15% off, of any of my services that is on my website. And so you can actually, book, make sure that you say that Debbie Voris referred you. So then you can get the full benefit of that. And we just start this whole holistic experience. I mean, it's going to be incredible.
Well, thank you for being my show. Will you be on it again?
Absolutely. I love this. I love, seeing you and everything that you do. And I think you're just incredible. And so this is a neat experience for me. Thank you.
Well, you're exceptional yourself. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about things to wrap up my show. So I want to remind you that you can purchase my book. For $20 or $25 if you want it signed. You need to go to this link, which is https://www.debi, Debi Changes, Changes Lives, LIV as in Victor, ES.com /Linktree. And you can find a lot of areas on there for my Linktree. I also offer a complimentary consultation. When you get to know me, I get to know you and see what you need. And on that, when we set up that appointment for that complimentary consultation, I offer a service of we're going to get to that next, which is a Zyto scan. And what is a Zyto scan? I could do it in two different ways, but I love doing this remotely because people may be, not so close to me. It's called a Zyto link. And I offer it for $50. If you do complete it and we review it and you want to move forward with my services, I'll give you a discount on my services. And for Black Friday, I'm offering a family pack. So you can get actually 5 sessions for $200. So contact me if you want to help your family and friends, and get that scan. And what's really great, it actually gives you a report of your biometrics, and it will go through your different body systems of what is going on with your different body systems and how to improve them. So, and there are some products in there to give you some ideas what to do. And then it works with the functional, emotional, and also the energetic wellness triad, because it's a holistic triad. Now, I want you to remember my Beach Reveal retreat in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where you start off on March 1st doing my 6-month weight release program. It's quite comprehensive. And then it goes into maintenance mode with accountability group. I still talk to people. And it's, intertwined with you writing a transformational story in a book about your transformation. And you get to do that in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And you go to the retreat center there where you will enjoy yourself, do fun activities, write your book. You'll be guided and, guided through the writing process as well as the publishing. It's all inclusive. And that program is $3,997. It's a fun way to release your way because you meet all these people and make friends with everybody else. And the actual retreat is November 6th through the 13th of 2024. And there are payment plans that you can utilize for this fun transformational story that you're going to do with the weight release program. You can watch details about my Beach Reveal retreat at https://bit.ly/beach reveal show for more details. And you're welcome to email me at the link tree that I mentioned earlier. And you can also subscribe to my newsletter and know about my future events and the upcoming shows at https://bit.ly/radio TV show. And you'll get a free 30-day health and mindset daily action journal that you can use for listen to your gratitudes, listen to the foods that you eat, exercise, water you drink, and you can review it to see what is working for you and what's not. It's a great tool to help you get through your health transformation. I really enjoyed this show. I hope you found it educational and also enjoyed it as well. Obviously, Laura enjoyed it as well. So continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, where your holistic journey begins.